My
And
guy.
all right, we're in here. All right,
Hey.
this is rarefied air right now, man. Listen, man, I had a lot of people ask me to try to get this dude on, man, and I was like, I'm gonna go ahead
Ah.
and I'm gonna try to stick in and see what I could do, see if I can get the it guy right now to get him on the
Hey, one of
podcast,
them.
man.
One of them. I
I mean, I
appreciate you
don't
for
know,
having me
man.
big time.
This dude, I don't know how he's making waves like this. Man is making waves. Ain't really just done IPF meet yet on low key, making waves
It's
already.
true.
Listen, man. I mean, the last 3 or 4 years, man. If you've been living under a rock, then you just haven't been paying attention to powerlifting. Period. If you haven't been living on the rock, you don't know what strength is. Period. Because if you did, you know this man is right smack dab in the epicenter of that. Um, he is the current man, myth, and legend, living legend right now, putting up crazy
Appreciate
numbers,
that.
man. And I think more than anything, man, this man is he's impacting the game in a very, very positive way. You know what I mean? And he's adding his own little New York flair to it. You know what I mean? So it's
Nah.
it's uh it's an absolute honor, man, and a privilege to have Bob Matthews on right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Bob Matthews.
Hey, I appreciate
My
you having
man,
me,
my
man.
man, my man.
Big time,
Listen,
big time.
listen, man. I like I said, man. I won't take up too much of your time. I always say that when I end up taking up people's time. But for those of the people that have been living under a rock, I mean, you know what? I'm gonna let you do your own thing. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna for real let you just. I'm gonna
Hey,
let you
I
spit
did
your
come
own
out of
stuff, right?
nowhere. I did come out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
2019, my second meet, Raw Nationals, 3 months after the first meet.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know much about powerlifting. I did my thing, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Tied with the best junior, got selected for IPF Worlds. And that's when the train really got it rolling.
Mm-hmm.
My motivation grew limitless. And my next meet after that, I believe, COVID happened and stuff.
Yeah, COVID
I
did his
believe
thing.
2021 was my next meet, Raw Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do anything else, but that's actually where I met you.
Yeah.
If you
Met you at
remember, yeah, I met you at
Raw
Raw
Nats, and I was like, man,
Nationals.
I gotta chop it up with the youngin, man.
Yeah.
It was crazy because that was the meet. That was my first Raw Nationals that I'd done. I'm like, I'm gonna go up a weight class because I just want to see like at that point, kind of what we talked about off air, like you want to taste a little bit of history. And I was like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to go up. Let me see what my body can do if I go up. And it was weird because I was like, when I honestly going into that Raw Nationals, I was like, bro, I'm not even gonna. I probably won't even make top 10. I mean, I just
Nah, you
wasn't
were
feeling it.
looking scary.
And I was like, yo, I'm actually moving weight that I didn't think I was gonna be moving because I hurt my back going into that. You know what I mean? That was my
Mm,
first like legit powerlifting injury that I'd had at the time. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I just guess I'm getting old. I remember I did this long, like sappy post on IG, like I guess I'm just getting too old or whatever. And, you know what I mean? And like David Ricks got at me like, hey, you're not too old. Trust me, you're not too old. And I don't know, but I got there, man, and
mm,
did all right, but I mean that was when I was like, because I think what it was is like I'd already followed you on IG. I had already seen like what you were doing like on some unofficial capacity. I'm like, yo, dude is nasty.
mm.
And I mean, and here's the thing, man, y'all had hella monsters, man, coming out of that gym anyway. So it was like, oh, he's
Yeah.
just another one of them monsters. You know what I mean? I'm like, how's this dude so little? He's moving this weight. And then, like high key's built like a hooper, but you know what I mean? Like, but you're
Mm,
moving weight. I'm like, yo, I don't know how he's doing this. Like, this dude looks like
yeah.
a strong spider right now. But like the crazy thing was even green, bro. Like even green, even raw, and not necessarily untrained. I mean, you were trained. I mean, even to like the layperson, like, oh, this dude, he knows what he's doing. But even
Yeah.
even in like in your humble beginnings, where you was just your technique was still like it was still like on point. You know what I mean? It wasn't
Yeah.
nasty. You know what I mean? But a lot of it was just your strength was growing faster than your technique was. You know what I mean? So like it
Yeah.
was, you know what I mean? So then like as and I think that's the crazy thing. I mean, looking back, you're like, yo, this dude, he'd always had the tools. It was just catching the technique up with the growth of the strength.
Yeah.
And now you're at a point where now the strength and technique, they're kind of doing one of these things. And I'm like, now it's getting nasty. And it's like anybody that had watched from the beginning, like, oh, okay, you know what, dude already had it in him. You know what I mean? It was like
Yeah.
for like, for I guess it's weird for anybody that's been around for 5, 6 plus years, you know what I mean? Like they see the tools, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
so like I guess as an old head, you expect like, oh yeah, he's gonna be nasty. He don't even know it yet. And then like then when it started catching up, because I forgot what I said to you at Raw Nats.
You were giving
I
me game. A lot of
like
game.
I was like we was chopping. I'm like, man, I remember I was like, bro, you got to build. I remember that. I
Yeah.
remember like, yeah, you got to build. Like you could be crazy. And that and like in my head, I'm like, all right, in about 5 years, it's gonna be nasty. I ain't know, like in 2 years, you know what I mean? So so it's been honestly, I ain't gonna lie, dude. It's been an absolute. I don't even. It's been fun just watching you. You know what I mean? And just like
Appreciate
watching you do
that.
your thing, watching you just enjoy yourself. You know, I mean, because it's just been a minute. It's been a minute since I get. You know what I mean? Since I've been excited about just somebody coming into the game. Like, you know what? This dude's just. He's out there
Mm,
just having fun. And he's talking his talk. He's doing what he has to do. He's, and
yep.
he's kind of, he ain't really, on that rah-rah, and I think that for me, it's refreshing. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, I appreciate that.
it's some weirdos out there, dude. It's some weird,
No, yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's some
yeah, yeah,
weirdos
yeah.
out there, and I think
I
it's
know
been
what you mean.
fun. It's been fun, like watching you just kind of do your thing, especially with how you kind of march to the beat of your own drum. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
you play by your own set of rules. You know what I mean? But you don't get out of pocket. You know what I mean? But you don't look for smoke, but
literally.
you don't. It's funny because this is a funny thing, man, and I guess you just have to be
Mm,
around people like this enough to know, like, you don't look for smoke, but you don't shy away from the smoke either. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
so I
100%.
that's I guess
A
that might be my
hundred
first
percent.
little thing we're gonna dive into because like you, my man Tony Cliff, y'all was going at it for a little bit,
Ah,
and
Tony.
I ain't gonna
Ah,
lie. Tony is what I mean, here's the thing. I mean, for those that don't know, like y'all had y'all's little back and forth for a little bit, kind
mhm.
of still do whatever. But when it first started popping off, I remember like I said a little something to Tony, you know what I mean. But Tony is my guy. Love that dude. And I've known him since I really started doing the international scene. Man, he's just always been a stand up guy. Really does a lot for the sport, especially in the UK. Just he's a huge, great ambassador. But he's just one of those dudes. Like he's gonna tell you like what he thinks. Doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't
Yeah, I
matter if you
see.
like it or
I
not.
see.
Tony's just gonna say whatever. You know what I mean? And but the thing is, if you get to know him, you're like, oh, that's just how he's built. You know what I mean? And I feel like
Yeah.
everybody's got like at least one or two of them dudes in their clique, like, you know what, dude's just
Hmm.
he just, you know what I mean? So it was funny to see, like, all right, well, what's this exchange gonna be like? So y'all were going back and forth,
Yeah.
back and forth, back and forth, and then so the point that got me is like, Tony is the way Tony, and again, those of you that don't know who Tony Cliff is, I highly advise you to look him up. Go to his IG, check it out. I'll try to put a link up so you can see that dude. He's nothing to shy from. He's legit. He's legit. He's been in the game for a minute. And
Hmm.
he's put up a lot of crazy stuff, both raw and equipped. But what you did was on some just like, all right, let's just go to the numbers then. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
that was the
Yeah.
most. And the thing is, like, if you've been
Yo.
around Brits, then like their sense of humor, the way they chirp, the way they get at you is completely different than how the Americans gonna get at you. Like our ways of talking trash are just there's two different cultures, two different ways.
Yeah.
So Tony was getting at you. He was getting at you. He was getting at you. And Bob, you just pulled the most American thing. Like, you just pulled a scoreboard. Like, let's go scoreboard. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so in my head, I'm like, knowing how
Yo.
you are, knowing how Tony is, it's like unless you know the two, you don't even know like this is classic. You know what I mean? Because like I'm in my head, I'm rolling. I'm like,
I'm
bro,
done.
I see what Bob's doing right now. I see what you're doing. You're not slick. I see what you're doing. You add a little fire to it. You know what I mean? And then on the
Mm,
other side, I see Tony. I'm like, bro, Tony is hilarious. I know exactly what Tony's doing. I'm like, man. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, do I sit back like most people? I'm like, well, we're gonna wait till if and when these dudes ever clash. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna wait till then, or we're gonna
yeah.
make sure like, hey, you know what? Tony's not a bad dude. He's not being malicious with it, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean, he's gonna get it popping, you know what I mean? And hey, Bob's not a
Hmm.
bad dude, you know what I mean? It was crazy because like I sent you like a quick little DM and
Yeah.
you know you had already peeped game, so it was no big deal. So I was like, well, I ain't gotta really have to
Yeah.
tell you. But I think I think for me, for the sport, I love that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, all right,
Yeah.
we got a little bit of the old school, and you got a little bit of the new school. We got the old school, the old school Brit that's got he's got the legacy. He's got the old heads under his, behind his back. You got this new cat that's got this wave behind him. Like, all right, so what's gonna happen? And you got these
Yeah.
numbers. That's the crazy thing. Y'all both got some stupid numbers.
Hmm.
And it was weird because I Tony's always been strong, but I mean, he's at a level now that not a lot of people, are able to get to, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
you come lighter, you know what I mean? So you got a
Mm,
little bit of room to grow into the class if you want to. Like, and it's crazy because you basically a 105 that's moving, 120 plus numbers, which is which is Dumbo when you really think about it, you know. But it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you know, you got Tony to really, he's a 120 that is moving 120 plus numbers. Like, all right, so we got these two cats, you know, that they're definitely gonna battle. They're gonna battle. They're gonna get at
Oh
each other,
yeah, it's gonna be a good
and
one.
you know what I mean. But you know, based off the schedules and everything, like obviously you got to get through Nats first in order to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tony's got to get through Nats in order to get there. Like y'all got to make y'all's respective teams in order to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the crazy thing, man. Like we all know that coming like to make it out of any nationals in America that's no cakewalk. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you
Right.
know, this is the, you know, anybody can be beaten, you know, at any given time. But like right now, if you go by numbers, you're clear favorite. It just is what it
Yeah.
is. You know what I mean? Like barring Dennis Cornelius deciding, hey, I'm gonna come back. You know what I mean? Like if you do your thing, you should be making your way, you know, to that world stage, you know, rightfully
Yeah.
so. Knowing that you're that close, and I guess this is where we're gonna start getting to the questions. Knowing that you're that close
Yeah.
to making it, or to having that chance to get to that world stage, man. Like, what's been your thought process? I should say, like going into all of this, like, you know, have you changed the game up a little bit? Like, what's been your focus right now?
Oh, my focus is the L I just took at nationals.
Mm,
I don't want to see what that feels like again. I want to smoke everybody, like
yeah.
respectfully, and I'm never underestimating anyone. Yeah, numbers
Hmm.
might be this and that going
Hmm.
into nationals, but you don't underestimate anybody.
No,
The underdog can always the favorite,
absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it super serious as if I'm the underdog.
Mm.
100%. And I feel like a lot of people say that, but they don't mean it. I truly mean that.
But you
There
have
is
to.
no, yeah, there is no room for relaxation at all. I'm looking at this guy like as if I took Ash the most serious I've ever taken any rival. Well, he was technically my first/second rival.
Yeah.
So I'm treating the next guy as I took Ash,
Yeah.
100% action.
And here's the thing, man. Like, the international stage is different.
Yeah,
Like, I don't think people understand if you've never been there, if you've never done it. And there's people that, you know, you just don't think. I guess it's always the way I thought about it when I went in. Like even now going into it, even if I'm a clear favorite, these people are a champion of their respective nation for a reason. You know what I mean? You know, they're champion stock for some reason. For some reason, they're there. They're not there because it was given to
yeah,
them. You know what I mean? Like they earned the right to be there. You know, and you know, when you go to that world championship, it's like it's the best of the best of the best going at it. You know what I mean? And it's crazy
mm,
because it's not like it's the Sheffield. It's not like it's a big payout meet or anything like that. It's not for the bag. This is legit for your country. This is for bragging rights, and this is to say that I am the best, straight up.
right.
You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, bro. Having that bread is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. But there's something about seeing that gold medal that you know what I mean, that you put high key well over 365 days of training in. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
put, you know, thousands of hours of training in, hundreds, thousands of days of training in for that specific moment. Because everything you've done
hmm
is worked up to that moment, stepping out on that international platform. You know what I'm saying? With that USA over your chest. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and like I got to do my thing, you know. And then it's like, all right, now that I have that, you know, that internal pressure that I built on myself, can I perform? Because again, you also
yeah,
have the external pressure that you've already placed on, you know, the external pressure of knowing like I'm not taking any of my opponents lightly, but at the same time, that internal pressure one has, like I got to make sure that I do my thing because I want to walk out of this thing victorious, or at least the best version of myself. You know what I mean? Hopefully
right.
best version beats everybody else. Like going into Nats, you know, what's really been your focus? Because I clearly we got to go through Nats first before we get, you know, to the big stage. Like what's really been your focus is, I mean, again, I don't necessarily want you giving up, you know, any of the secrets and or, you know, the
Okay.
how the sausage is made behind the scenes, but what's been some of the focus going in the Nats?
So I switched up a lot of my training as far as the bench and the deadlift. The bench, I literally got to adapt to the IPF rules. That
Hmm.
changed me up so much because
Duh.
I benched 540 with the regular, the regular tuck
Yeah.
type of bench. Now I got to flare a little bit more. So I've been
Yeah.
working on that. I've been playing with a super close grip, a medium grip, and now
Yeah.
I just switched back to max grip, and it's looking good. I've adapted, yeah,
Ooh,
pretty good.
you hit that, you go
As
back to
far
that
as
maxi.
yeah, I
Ooh.
can hit IPF depth with the max grip. Every single bench rep I'm watching for depth, and I'm
Yeah.
hitting it every time. Um, And the deadlift went from sumo to conventional. Literally, conventional is blowing up. At first, it
Yeah.
was just to, at first, why did I even do it? Just to have fun, just
Yeah.
something. I don't even know.
Almost
Just
like an assisted
switch
lift.
something up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't absolutely did not need to switch. My sumo was beautiful.
Facts.
Then conventional just blew up, and it might be my main lift now because I love it, and it's so
Shut up.
well, yeah, it might be my
Really?
main lift.
I ain't even mad
I
at you.
well,
I'm talking
it
all that talk like
matches.
I ain't gonna have to come back lifting conventional because until it's the bicep hills, bro, I'm gonna have to do something. So I'm pretty sure
Mm,
I'm gonna come back. I mean, because I had to get I had to get the deadlift harness. I never thought
I
I
know
would
what
be
you're talking
that
about.
dude. I had to get the
I
deadlift
know.
harness, bro.
I know what you're talking about.
This bicep's gonna be stupid in a couple of months. So
Damn.
yeah, I had to come
Hey, you gotta do
home.
what you gotta do, though.
Yeah, but
You do
here's the
what you gotta.
thing, man. Like the one thing that I have noticed, man, especially with lifters, especially once you get to that 1% of the 1%, is it doesn't necessarily matter what the pull is. It doesn't necessarily matter what the type of lift technique behind that lift, I should say, is that specific
Mm,
discipline. You're gonna put up something, Chris. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
if you're a pulling like high sevens, high sevens to mid eights, you know, sumo, odds are you're going to be pulling maybe not exactly that much, but with enough training, you're gonna get right around the same when you get
I
to
agree.
conventional. But again, not everyone's built the same. But I mean, I feel like because one's willing to put that type of work in, within that specific discipline to get back, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna keep going till you get your lick back anyway. Like I'm gonna keep
Yeah,
going. It's like till I
it's,
tell them where, yeah, because I think that's been the kind of the cool thing, kind of watching, because I've watched the squat tech has changed drastically. You know what I mean, over
yeah,
the years, for sure, for
a lot.
sure. Even bro, the thing is, like, again, people that have been following you for a minute, man, like don't there's a lot of, even bro. All right, this is the thing that drew me to you from jump, and I mean, I'm sure people said it before, was the deadlift setup. Your OG deadlift
Hmm.
setup. I'm like, that boy was wilding with the OG deadlift setup,
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying, like it was effective. You know what I mean? I noticed that you didn't necessarily, I won't say calmed it down, but you made it more efficient. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
that happens.
yeah, you made the deadlift setup like far more efficient. You don't take as much time, per se, per
Hmm.
setup. Um, and I think you done a really good job about locking in quicker. You lock in so much
Yeah,
quicker mentally before your deadlifts now than you did, say, 2 years ago, especially 3 and 4 years ago, for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Like your mental
That's a
lock in.
good
That's one
catch.
thing, and I'll applaud you for that to your face, because I never really even told you that. I mean, and I could have. I At some point, I don't even gatekeep my loving, man. But I mean, I should have gave you your flowers a long time ago. I should have DM'd you and told you, like, that's been
Appreciate
one
that.
of the most
Appreciate that.
impressive things, dude, that I've watched. Over the last 3 4 years, has been how you mentally are locking in a lot faster, thus giving yourself more time. You know what I mean? To unrack, to
Hmm.
set yourself up, to build the internal pressure, to descend and or to get your pause, and or to to get the correct grip. When you're getting ready to pull, like you've done a really good job of, like, with all the big three, really locking in a lot faster. Um,
Appreciate
and again, it's just been I don't consider myself a super student of the game, but I'm a student of the people that I enjoy watching. And you're
that.
fun to watch. Um, it's crazy because I mean, aside from the numbers, I mean, I know you don't put up something, no, that's cool. But I mean, I would tell myself, you see one good lifter, you're gonna see them all. Every good lifter is a good lifter, but it's, do you enjoy watching them?
Yeah,
Do I enjoy watching you lift the same lift over and over and over and over and over enough that I'm gonna follow this dude and watch him again? Enough that I'm gonna follow this dude, watch him again, and dissect what he's doing. Enough that I'm gonna follow this dude, watch him again, dissect what he's doing, and point out something dope that I saw that I didn't see before. I thoroughly enjoy watching you.
appreciate
Like
that.
I just, and again, I don't think that I'm saying anything that's out of pocket. I feel like I'm echoing what a lot of people feel. Um,
Right.
I feel like a lot of times, this is one thing that, from one of the people that DM, like, man, I do you ever talk to Bob? Because, man, I always want to talk to him, but I don't know. I feel like he's not approachable. Um,
Oh no, 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 I'm approachable.
Here's the thing, though. I know you get that. I know you, like, it'll be like, man, you
Yeah.
look intimidating sometimes, but I mean, like, take me through. Just take me through your day, because again, you say you're an approachable person, right? Um,
Hmm.
Obviously, you got a lot of stuff going on, throughout the day. What I'm saying, you're not a lazy man. Clearly, the numbers speak to that. I mean, but like,
Right.
what's a typical day for Bob right now?
Honestly, wake up 7 a.m., take my brother to school. I coach a lot of clients, so I'm editing a lot of training blocks.
Yeah.
And then I take my rest, eat up crazy, probably eating every other hour. Then let me see, pick him up from school around 3. Then I take another nap and I get ready for my gym session. But I go to the gym later towards the night.
Yeah.
And that's on repeat every single day. That's on
That's
repeat. It's like,
crazy.
yeah,
So yeah,
it's on repeat.
you're taking care of broski, getting him
Hmm.
right. That's what's
Yeah.
up, man. Like tell us about your brother, man.
He's a bunch for sure. Um, but he's grown. He's athletic.
Yeah.
He's an athletic little kid. Trying to make him like me.
You trying to mold
Try to
him
make him be
already?
like me. Yeah, whatever sport he wants to do,
Yeah.
honestly. But yeah, trying to raise him into being the best man. Period.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Like, yeah, man. So we already know. I found it. The notes are coming out, man. I talk to me about, man, about being a brother, man. Like that's, don't get me wrong, the lifting stuff is dope. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
here's the crazy thing, and for people that are listening, for people that are watching, you can go, and again, I'm gonna make sure I put links and all that stuff in his ad and everything, so you can check him out. But with Bob, you can literally you can Google him at this point. He's putting up numbers like that. You can Google him. Number two, you can always follow him and literally really see what he's doing. But that's just the lifting part, and the cool thing about IG is that as far as IG goes, it's a small window in people's actual lives, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I'm not trying to dig too deep into your life, by the way. But I want people to know, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone has a why, you know what I mean? And I'd be a fool to sit here and pretend like I know that, your brother's not part of your why you do what you
Hmm.
do.
No, that's right.
Um, tell me what it's like, man. Tell me what it's like being a brother, being the big brother, being the one that gets to
Hmm.
set the tone, the one that sets the example. Like, just tell me what that's like.
I just want to take him through life having high morals. Like I'm big on morals.
Uh-huh.
Respecting other people. You, whatever your passion is, you exploiting that and taking it as far as you can. Just vibe through life, and I try to pass that on to my younger ones
Yeah.
always, and even outside of being a brother, everyone around me,
Facts.
100%. I'm like a freaking therapist for so many people. Yo, trust me, I try to spread just high morals every single
That's what's
day.
up, man.
Like if I hear something immoral, it's like I'll try to combat it and try to educate the next person. I'm big on morals. A lot of people don't know that, but maybe you could get that vibe if you watch me on YouTube a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm big on morals, and I hope my seed, my brother, he becomes the same way. And I think it's naturally gonna rub off on him
Yeah.
because he sees it and I preach it. So yeah, big on morals.
That's what's up, man. Like I mean, obviously, I mean that's something that more of us need to be like. I mean, more of
Hmm.
us need to aspire to, as far as being, try to be as righteous and positive morally that as we can. Because it just seems like, I mean, people that go the opposite way seem to get applauded a little bit more nowadays. So that's huge, man. Hats off to you for that.
Exactly.
I do want to touch on something, man. And again, bro, I always ask. I mean, and if when I said invite, I was like, "Hey, is there something that you don't want to talk about? Something that you don't want to talk about?" Uh,
Mm.
so I mean, I was not necessarily hoping that that you wouldn't like you like nah, we can talk about this, but I was hoping like, all right, cool, maybe everything's open.
Yeah.
I want to talk about, what I'm saying, a few years back, man. We lost more so not just us, but the powerlifting community lost, a close personal friend of yours,
Yeah.
in
Like Tom Cruise.
the Black Tom Cruise, man. And I it wouldn't be right to talk to a good friend of his, a person that put a lot of gym time with them, you know what I mean, in a lot of
Hmm.
ways, you know what I'm saying. I know he served as a mentor for a lot of people. He
Yeah.
set the example for a lot of people. Was a such a good dude, bro. Such a good
Yeah.
dude.
You
Um,
met him?
yeah. And it's crazy because a lot of people don't, a lot of people don't get their flowers till they're gone. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
fortunately, like, I mean, he got a lot of his flowers while he was still around, because like dude was just he was a monster. He was funny. He was a good dude. He was intense. And honestly, bro, he could pull anything. See, like, you know what I mean? Like, it just seemed like this dude can move
Yeah.
anything. Um, obviously, I mean, obviously he was a good dude, man. Like, what was it like? Because I never had a chance to train with him. I mean,
Mm.
y'all had a few monsters in that gym, man. But um,
No, yeah.
what was it like training with him?
It was lit every single day. And back in those times, I didn't really know much about training, so we would basically max out very often, and we just have fun. It was a lot of
Yeah.
energy, literally.
Hmm.
He was a very good person, like
Yes.
um, high on morals, and I think that's why we clicked. Like he
Yeah.
was always respectful to other people. It was insane. Very good person, very good guy. So and we always went at it with the lifts. That was another thing. Like we would push one another crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh, but that was always
Yeah,
I was because I was just like I think and honestly I think that may have been why and how I started seeing you so much because I would see like I'm like, yo, how's this little dude? He's hanging
yeah.
with them right now. He's for real hanging with them.
I,
And you
I
know what
don't
I mean?
know
And you
why
know,
or
no,
how.
I know why. This is why because you didn't know you weren't supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you didn't know that, like like physically, this big dude. You're not supposed to be pulling with this big dude. You're not supposed to be lifting with this
Yeah.
big dude. It's here's the thing about a gym. And honestly, I mean, and again, it's not necessarily a race thing, but it's real weird, like just how black people are. Once the OG takes the youngster, like, hey, let's go. They don't treat
Mhm.
you any different than anybody else. Like that's really kind of a
Yeah.
that's it's kind of a neighborhood thing. But like once you hit that OG status, which Tom Cruise, he was a Tom Cruise he was the OG. He was an OG, and like almost on big unk status with with a lot of lifters. But once you hit that
Yeah.
status and you take a young one under the wing, you don't treat them any different. Like, hey man, I'm doing it, you do it. You know what I mean? And then when you see that,
Hmm.
like, oh yo, boy's got spirit. Oh, he's gonna try to get at me. I think, and again, that's just me on my old man stuff. Like, I think because you didn't know that you were not supposed to be lifting that type of weight with those dudes, like you were like, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you can do, I can do. And the fact that you're just a crazy competitor. Like, here's the thing, man. A competitive spirit will have you doing things you're not supposed to do. Like
Yeah.
a competitive spirit will have you define the laws of physics on a daily basis because you want to be the best at whatever discipline that
Yep.
that you're at. You know what I mean? And you know, and you keep doing it, you keep doing it, you keep doing it, and the next thing you know, you're doing stuff that like you weren't supposed to be able to do. Like, let's
Yeah.
be 100 in this game right now. For you to be the 1% of the 1%, you got to do stuff that's never even been heard of. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
there's stuff that, and I'm sure you're no exception. There's stuff that you had written down a year or two ago that you're like repping now. Like, I would love to do this and this, and now it's like, man, that's not even my opener anymore. That's not even a
Yeah.
set of 5 for me anymore. That's an RPE 6 for me. Like, what was that? I mean, because I know you had that point. And again, here's another question I'm throwing at you. What was that point where you're like, yo, I'm dumb strong. This is a different type of strength that I have.
Oh, that's easy. Very easy. I would say the squat was always with me, so I can't say anything about the squat,
Uh-huh.
but it was when the bench started to click.
Yeah.
Swear. And I know it'll sound crazy, but right after when I met you, I benched 420,
Hmm.
424 at Nats. It's like
Yeah.
RPE 10. I took creatine for the first time. I went in 6 weeks, 424 to 485. 6 weeks. And then that's when I knew I was strong. Matter of fact, I didn't even have faith like that in my powerlifting like that because my bench was weak. I always had a nice squat, nice deadlift, but I was a 93. 93s are benching 500.
Yeah.
I used to always watch your bench in awe. Keiko, everybody, right? 500, yeah, how the fuck am I supposed to beat them? So when my bench got legit strong, I was like, yeah, I'm untouchable. It's
You
nobody. It's insane.
I
It's
was
over.
wilding. Like, yo, they
It was
can't see me
crazy.
right now.
Yeah, it
Yeah, hey,
was
Mamba.
wild. That's when I knew.
But yeah, that's I think everyone has that moment where they're like, ooh, yo, they
Yeah.
can't see me anymore. This is different. You know what I mean? Like it
Hmm.
just is. That's crazy. He say when that bitch started going, I knew like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm about to be a problem for real.
Yeah. I think the bench is the most dangerous. The deadlift is, but for me, it's the bench, man. The bench is so dangerous.
I think if people understood how dangerous bench can be, here's the thing, if you don't have a bench, it is what it is. So you got to lean on that
Yeah.
squat. You got to lean on that dead. But bro, when you have a bench, when that bench comes up, you got
Yep.
a squat, a deadlift, and a mini squat is what you got. You
Yep.
know what I
Think
mean?
about
And
the
like,
best lifters.
no, bro, like, you know what I mean? Unless they're pulling 900 plus and squat 900 plus, like you got a bench that's sick, you can like you're gonna hurt some hearts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Conversely, the hard part about having a big bench though is like, bro, you know what I mean? Like when it's not, because there's just days it's just not there. You know what I mean? Like because it's just, I mean, I think it's weird because you are doing weight that's completely bonkers and out of this world. I mean, once you know what I mean, once you're benching, you know what I'm saying, 5+ like on a consistent basis, you're living in the fives, like, you know,
Yeah.
it's different because you know, especially when you're smaller. We're smaller stature dudes. You know what I mean? Like when you're a smaller dude and you're moving in those fives like that, you have those days where like, oof, oh man, bench is off, dog. And it don't just be off, bro. It be off, like, oh, bro. Like I've had days where I'm like, yo, hey, let's hit this 550, let's hit this 551 real quick. Ooh, I'm feeling different. I'm feeling different. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, yo, I don't even know if I can hit 200 keys today. Like it's, you know,
I think I
it's
know what
and
you mean.
I think a lot of it's just because of our stature. You know what I mean? Because the body just does what the body wants. And as much as you can eat right, you can sleep right, you can do all that stuff. But that's just days your body's like, I don't got it today.
Yeah.
You know what I
For
mean?
me,
Like
that's the squat, I would say.
the squat does you greasy.
Yeah.
Like
Hell yeah. Because I got long femurs.
yeah, bro, you build
Yeah.
like a daddy long legs, high key.
Yeah,
I mean, but you
it's
do it, you're silly with it though. I will say that I think you're one of the few that are completely defying the odds in terms of like, all right, the way you're built, you ain't supposed to be moving weight like that. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I mean, I mean, aside from I think Lane Norton had he had a couple he didn't bench like you, but he had a couple years where like, oh, okay, you got the long femur gang,
No,
okay,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
I
But
remember that.
this is, the one thing that I have to applaud you on. It wasn't a long time, but you had a little taco spot going on for a little bit, bro. And then you just changed the game up. You changed that
Yep.
squat up. And that for me is when I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So every you have yours with the bench. For me, it's when you got that squat right. When that squat got right, I'm like, okay, he's
Yep.
acting different now. This is
Yep.
different. You know what I mean? And but like I mean, again, and I don't. It's not like I am not a told you so type person at all. But every now and again, bro, like I mean, if especially if I tell you, hey man, you got all the tools, but you can be nasty. You can be nasty. And then like when it happens so quick, I'm like, oh, now I'm about to start
Yep.
talking. I'm about to start talking all of it. Like, hey, I told him back in Nashville. You can ask him. I got the receipts. Like, it's it's
Yep.
it's cool to watch you just like really grow into yourself, grow into this game, and really kind of create your own wave. Because it's just the type of people that follow you, the type of people that have really been gassing you, or like it's just weird. I feel like a lifter's followers are really, for the most part, they're a pretty decent reflection of the type of person they are. And you
Yeah.
seem to have
I
the
like
most
that.
chill people that follow you. Like even like of my people that of our cross followers, every one of the people that have asked me like to try to get you on there, all the real chill people that I talk to almost on a daily basis, like just like chopping with back and forth. I'm like, it's real crazy because it's not really like, what I mean, it's not like the weirdos. It's not really any of the weirdos.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate anyone that's, bringing me up and stuff and whatever. Absolutely.
You know what I
100%.
mean?
But I
But
really
then
do
again,
mess with my peoples.
no, no. Here's a no knock. Again, I got to make sure that I choose my words wisely, man, because like it's just I'm not like trying to be mean about like calling like people weirdos. I forgot where the
No,
PCH.
I
I
know what
gotta
you mean.
I gotta clarify. Like you know what I mean. Like there's you know the type of people, like I know the type of people that follow me. You know what I mean. Especially now, they're like they're people that like they know me from jump, or if they're new people coming up, they're following me because of like of my cheer background, or because of like because a lifter they likes me. You know what I'm saying? Like my my boy's like you're my favorite lifter's favorite lifter. That's what he always tells me, hey man, you're my favorite
Ah,
lifter's favorite lifter. I'm like, well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I mean, because because like it's an easy way of saying, oh, you're just an old head that you know what I mean? But like, you know, but a lot of people like, oh yeah, oh my God, Bob follows you. Yeah, I guess, man. I mean, what you want me to do? But then it's crazy because it's a lot of people's favorite lifters that like that. Thank God they're my favorite lifters. So I was like, oh yeah, I know who he is. But like, no, it's been real cool just kind of seeing like the type of people that like they gas you, like the type of people like what, I really like this, and it's really dope to see you getting your just due. And, starting to get the sponsorships, getting the looks. Shout out to my sponsor, shout out BPN. Just hold me down. Double supplements in the game. Got new sleeves dropping. Keep your eyes on that. But yeah, like I just feel like we're at a point now where you really can get an idea of the type of lifter that you're coming across based off a lot of the following they have. And you have
yeah,
an
you
awesome
definitely can.
you have a awesome set of followers, man. Like you have an awesome community that you're building. And that high moral ground that you have, that high, you know, moral approach that you're taking with life. A lot of the people that cross follow, they tend to be that way. And it's just weird because that's the type of energy you put out, and I feel like that's the type of energy that's being received. Therefore, that's the type of people that they're gonna follow. How's that been? Just watching people not necessarily just follow, but being able to build a community, just not just off what you do on a platform and in the gym, but just off your actions, the type of person you are.
It's I'm grateful for it, to see it grow. And shit, I used before I even ever started YouTube or even powerlifting. I am a big fan of YouTube and YouTubers, and I see how the community can have such an influence,
Yes.
big influence. Like, you
Yes.
tell your followers go do that, and they go do that
Yeah.
because they fuck with you that much. They mess with you
Absolutely.
that much. So I created YouTube at first, not even for powerlifting. Just because, I was a fan of YouTubers and stuff like that. And the fact that I have, somewhat of a little community and my people are on my ass, like when I
Yeah.
don't post and stuff like that, they're strong, a strong sense of a community.
Yes.
I'm grateful. It's amazing. It really is.
No, it really is, man. Like it's crazy because I started my YouTube and I let it go, and I started another one, then I let it go. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because you look back like, bro, if I just would have kept it going, I probably could have built something nasty. But like
Yeah.
when I started my first YouTube, that's like when Nick Bear was starting his. That was like when Christian Guzman was starting his. That was when like the OGs was doing it, and I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, at that point. First of all, I barely like fitness at all. You know what I mean? Like I was still licking my wounds from like, oh, I'm a professional athlete and I can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? So like, I was like, oh, woe is me. It's like, do I really want to try to do something with like fitness? I don't even really know fitness like that. All I know is bodybuilding, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I'd ever be that good enough to be a bodybuilder. So I was like, yeah, whatever. But I noticed like, there was like that second wave of Russ and a lot of those guys, man, they started their YouTubes up. Yourself started you like getting the YouTubes up and everything, and y'all started building these communities. Um, and it's crazy to see like just how much just a little time, a little patience, and a lot of consistency will do for a person.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I and I've asked a couple of you guys like, I mean, well, what do you do? How do you get these people like, and it's always the same thing. Like, I don't do anything special, man. I just post and I just talk to them. I just
No,
post.
yeah. Just be you.
I just me. I'm
Just
like,
that's
that's
it.
it. I'm like, yeah, but like, no, do it, and they come. I'm like, what? It's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, like, my YouTube, it's not necessarily popping like that. It's just that's where I put all my podcasts and really where I put all my gaming now. I'm like, you know what, dude? I got a little gaming community. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, if you're a COD player, you know where I'm at. But like, it's really cool to watch. You know what I mean? Like that development, that developing a community. You know what I mean? To developing a very very loyal following. So much so that I mean, when you succeed, they felt like they succeed. When you fail, they feel like they
Yeah.
fail. So it's like, you know what, man? Not only am I doing for me and mine, but I'm also doing for my people. You know what I mean? Like that's been a cool thing. So then, as you progress in this powerlifting game, you brought a lot of people into powerlifting as a result. And that's been a crazy thing. And again, I try not to do too much research because I don't want I want to be like surprised, you know what I mean? But that was one thing again that I noticed. I'm like, yo, you brought a lot of people into powerlifting because you already had a community prior to doing any of this. Um and
Yeah.
and that's a crazy thing because that's a part that people don't know about you. They don't know that you had a well established community prior to even really becoming like one of the go-tos in this game.
Mhm. Yeah.
So like they're like, oh, well, how does dude have all this and this? Like, dude, he wasn't a stranger to this beforehand. He was doing it on a completely different platform, and it's
Yeah.
now that he's like into the powerlifting game. It's like, oh, okay, but like you've always had a solid following. um
Mhm.
and again, I mean, obviously as an athlete chair powerlifting mega, I appreciate it because some of your people are starting to come over, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. But it's been really, really awesome to kind of see, just how much you bring to the game. So speaking of bringing to the game, what are three things that right now? I mean, again, this is just off rip. What are three things that you feel like you're bringing to the game right now that really the game's been missing?
Oh, mentality. I'm not. I'm probably the most. I would say I have the hardest mentality in powerlifting right now. I can't think of anyone who can match me. Or no, I can think of people that match me, but I'm pretty much up there. I'm not scared of any fight. I will cut to 83 if I have to face anyone that wants to talk crazy or anything like
If I could
that.
if I could dap you right now, my guy, I would. oh,
No,
now I
I'm
got
so
chills,
serious.
bro.
I'm for real. Yeah, any the little powerlifting beef or whatever. I would love for to just do something drastic that's so far out of my goals and fuck my goals up just to face someone. Any class. That's even why I'm a 105 right now, competing against some people that's bigger than me. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But yeah, I think my mental. I think I could influence us the yo even my clients that having my mental rub off on them, and it's so natural. It's insane. Like
That's
it's
crazy.
insane. It is insane. But yeah, I think it's my mental. That's one thing I bring. That's a refreshment to the community. I think another thing, I'll say accessories. I think a lot of people will take from me and my accessories because they see
Hey,
that.
this dude's got everybody out here doing dips. Get out of here. You got everybody out here doing weighted dips like it's like a new exercise. Like, man, yo, let
I
me
know.
tell you, how quick I was. This is real talk. I almost DM'd you like, hey, bro, quit acting like you invented freaking weighted dips. Like I ain't gonna lie, I was salty for like a legit month and
That's
a half. I'm like,
crazy.
dude is acting like he invented weighted dips. But it was just like, and the thing was, like, people don't even say, like, clearly you do other stuff. Clearly, like, you do all your accessories. But man,
Yeah.
the bench was blowing up, and then you're putting the weighted dips, like, oh, this is the secret sauce.
Yeah.
Got these fools out here doing weighted dips. Yo, got dudes out here, they're tearing their triceps, tearing their
Yeah.
chest, trying to do weighted dips. I'm like, listen, dog, he's stronger than you. First of all, don't let all them red plates get you messed up. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, this guy, man, it took everything. And again, like I said, sometimes I have to bite my own tongue. I'm like, yo, is this dude got these
Nah.
people really feeling like weighted dips is gonna make them like, listen, your bench is trash. It has nothing to do with just weighted dips.
Yo.
But if you think because Bob does it, you and Bob are built the same, you're not built the same. You just see Bob, you see, I don't
Yeah.
think people know how big you legit are. Because
Yeah.
they see you on a little 6.5 screen, a 5.5 inch screen, like, we're built a lot
This.
alike, but you're not,
Yeah.
dude. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
like, because the crazy thing about powerlifting is like at no point do you ever really see somebody with a gang of people. You know what I mean? Like when you're
Yeah.
training, it's usually you and a spotter. The spotter's never the
Mhm.
focus. It doesn't matter if your spotter's big or not. Like unless you like know every rack, like known to man, like, oh, that's an ER rack. How many holes is that? Yo,
Yeah.
dude's at a 16, 17. Yo, he's not small. You know what I mean? If you stand next to, you said it's not like you and Ash are standing next together all the time. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like, because when you go out, he's in the back. When he comes out,
Yeah.
you're in the back. Like, you know what I mean? It's always individual frames of a person. You know what I mean? Like, and I knew you were like, again, I'm a weirdo like that. Like, I'm like, okay, so how many, how many, how many holes is okay? Yo, he's not short. Okay. So
Mhm.
he, you know what I mean? And like I look at like, okay, the he his combo's out. Yo, his shoulders are pretty wide up under that bar. Yo, he's a bigger dude. Yo, he's
Yeah.
okay. And then like I'm like, so then when I finally met you face to face, I'm like, okay, so that's what I expected. You know what I mean? Like, yo, dude is big. He's
Mm.
big. So that's what I was like, yo, you got a frame. I remember I was like, yo, he's a way bigger than I thought. I knew. I mean, honestly, because like I said, I had met Black Tom Cruise. I'm like, yo, he's not small. And I'm like in a
Yeah.
couple frames, y'all kind of stand next to him. I'm like, he's actually, yo, this kid is not small. He's just thin built. You know what I mean? Like he's thin built. Like, yo, I was
Yeah.
like, and then like fast forward X amount of years later, I'm like, yo, yeah, he's feeling
Filling
now.
out. Yup.
Listen, I'm gonna be 100 with you, my G. You ain't go. That 105 is gonna be around for maybe you might have another year.
Yeah. Doing it slowly, but yeah.
Yeah, you might have
100%.
another
Like,
year. You might. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like, I mean, boy, hey,
I'm noticing it now. I'm noticing it now. Like it's harder to make purposely so because I am, in a caloric surplus, but I'm
yeah,
purposely like it's becoming effortless to be 231, 232,
yeah.
233.
But that's how it was when I was in 93, bro. I was working because I was like naturally walking around like 181, 182. I was like, no, I gotta put it on right. I was like taking my time. And at that point,
Yep.
we were 90 kg going against these 93s at World. USAPL at the time, we were still under that 90 kg. Everybody else was like,
Yeah.
I was giving up 12 pounds to everybody. Yo, I gotta eat up. Then I was like,
Mhm.
oh well, this is cool. The only thing was, I'm like, all right, now that like, like I'm actually putting on mass. Ooh, Ooh, I'm having. The first meet I had to cut down for him, like, but then the weight was moving so dumb when I was cutting down. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Then I was like, you know what, man? I want everything
Yeah.
I can do with this. Let me try to go up. I went up, I'm like, all right, cool, let me go back down. And then COVID hit. I'm like, oh, we here now. So it's
Mm.
like, but I think that's been the cool thing, man. It's just, I mean, you do a good job about talking, like, about how you eat, and, what I mean, like, your nutrition, your,
Yep.
alimentation, and, and how that's been such, a huge part of your success. Um, I'll ask you about that a little bit, man, and then I'll ask a few more, and then I'll get you out of here, man. Um, I know that's played such a big role, man. Was there something, and again, I try to lean back in the fact that you're so transparent because you are, and I don't say this in a derogatory way.
Yeah.
You're a YouTuber, so you're very transparent, you're very open, and really forthright with what, how, when, and if you do anything. How's that? I mean, I guess, how's people's responses been to, like, how open you are? Because you're way open than most powerlifters are, as far as, like,
Yeah.
how you
Yeah.
handle that.
That's a good catch right there. People think like people that know me is like, yeah, that's Bob in real life, blah blah blah. But so I think some people can think it's like, oh, is he putting on a facade, a show? Because
Yeah,
they don't really know. Is he really that open, or is it just a show?
yeah,
But people mess with it big time.
yeah.
I would say people mess with it big time.
Yeah, man, I've noticed I'm very open with all of his information. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know what? Here's the keys. Here's the keys that I have. This is what's helped me. Not that it's gonna work for everyone, but these are the
Yeah,
things that I'm bringing to the table. You know what I mean? So, like, like, hey, bro, I told you beforehand, I'm coming regardless. This is everything. This is all out on the table. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
now,
I give it all. Yeah,
yeah,
literally.
you know what I mean? It's
Shit.
huge because, like, people don't necessarily do that a lot. Um, I'll ask you one more, and then we'll dive into the other ones, man. Um, and I usually ask this kind of at the end with a lot of podcasts, bro. But, like, I mean, the way we're rolling right now, I'm definitely gonna have to bring you back for part two where we just chop it up, chop it up. Um, I'm gonna ask you two. This one, and then the next one, because we were talking about off air. What do you want to leave this game with?
Oh, a
When it's
strong
all said
legacy.
and done, what do you want to leave this game with?
I
Like,
want to be definitely one of the most remembered lifters ever. Um, Trust me, I have big goals. I want to leave a mark, such a mark. I want people to go, who's your top three powerlifters ever? Or you
oh,
just your most memorable? I want to be in
mm,
that combo. I want to be in that combo
man,
100%.
speak on it, man.
100%. So you want people gonna remember me as the guy that like did some shit not looking like he was supposed to do that shit. No matter what, I'm gonna be remembered no matter what, whether it's by championship numbers, whether it's by feats being way ahead of his time.
Hmm.
Um, I'm gonna leave a mark. Always, I always do. I'm gonna leave
Yeah,
a fat mark.
I feel you.
So yeah, that's the
That's
biggest
fire.
thing I would say.
Well, leave that
It's gonna
mark.
be crazy.
Damn, that's crazy. So
It's
now,
gonna be crazy.
so we were talking about this beforehand. Before we went live.
Mm,
Is leaving the game. How we want to leave the
yeah.
game.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I I know leaving on top is like Jordan, right? Jordan should have probably never came back for another few
Nah,
seasons. He should have just retired a bull.
he,
Period. I really don't know why he came back. I think it's just that
bro,
they
you
want to
know
hold
why
on
he
to
came
being
back. You know why he
they
came back.
just want to hold on to being great forever. You
Greatness
can't do
is.
that.
I don't think people understand, man. Like that feeling of being like the man,
Yeah.
be it for
Yeah.
1 minute, 1 second.
Yeah.
Some people go their whole lives without feeling that. Their whole lives. And I'm
Damn.
not saying it's addicting, but it's addicting. But some
Yeah.
people go their whole lives do the same thing every day, and they're cool with that.
That's
They're,
crazy to
they're, they're
me.
cool with, like, what, and then not that, of those of us on this side, we said, that's mediocrity, man. Like, that's regular. I couldn't do. But some people are content with that life. They love that life.
Yeah.
And then there's those of us on the different side. I'll say on this other side
Yeah.
that, like,
The spectrum.
bro, to be the man, I don't care if it's in the gym. I don't care if it's like, you know what, bro? I'm about to bench 500 for the first time. All eyes are on me. This is my first time touching it. But you're the man
Mm,
for this one split second. No one's doing anything else but watching you. And then you
yeah.
get it. All right.
Euphoric.
Now, am I satisfied with this, or do I want to take it to the next level? Let's go to
Exactly.
the next level. So then you go to a little
Exactly.
local meet. You're the man.
Hmm.
Whew, I like that.
Hmm.
Am I satisfied, or take it to the next level?
Exactly.
Now we got to go to the next level. So then you do it on the nationals. Whew. That feels good. Is this it, or do I take it to the next level? Let's go
Exactly.
to the next level. You get that shot, you go to the next level, the top level, you do it.
Oh, hold up. I'm at 1%. No. Wow. That is insane.
Nah, you're good. You're good. You got
Okay.
at it.
Wow. Of course. I
Good
literally
catch.
just checked my shit was at
Good,
1%.
good.
That's
Hey,
crazy.
good catch.
Nah, but
When you get to
yeah, you
that,
want to it's powerlifting
yeah,
is toxic.
like
It's
once you,
in my
yeah,
to me, it's just so toxic because you'll never I will never get enough. I will
yeah.
always want more and
You
more.
always want
So
more and
that
more, and that's why the sport's so dangerous, dog. Because you
yeah.
keep pushing and pushing, and eventually the weight pushes back. It is what it is. But
Hmm.
you love it, man. You love the
That
people
being
and you love the
said,
sport.
do you know when is it your time to like let go?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I can tell you from an old head that's been where you're headed.
Hmm.
You're gonna have moments where you feel like it's this.
Yeah,
I can tell
I
you
could
straight up,
tell.
and I'm not even gonna cry about it because I used to cry about it when I talk about it.
Mm,
When everything was popping off a few years back, like COVID era, you know what I mean? The race relations was
yeah,
um all these businesses that was black money and black dollars, they didn't want to support black people. A couple of my sponsors was that way. I reached out to a lot of like differences that I had, like, hey man, like, do y'all want to make a statement? Do y'all want to help me? Like, I was, I don't want a black box on your IG. Like, I need you to make a statement. Like, are you with us? Need your help? Yada yada.
mm,
Nobody was saying that. For me was the when I was like, it's because like I felt like the sport that I love, like I can't, there's no support, you know what I mean? There's no support for me, for my people. Like, why do I want to
deep.
be here? No one said anything, bro. No one said a word. So I was like, okay, man, I think that, you'll say PL didn't say anything. Nobody was saying anything. And I was really hoping like, oh, at least somebody say no one said anything, man. And I remember I will never forget this. My coach, I had 740 for a triple. I was squatting 740 for a triple. I will never forget that. And that was probably the lightest I'd ever been, squatted because I was on my way back down to 93s. I'm about to bust these fools. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I think I was like 2 and a quarter, like doing 730 for like 740 for a triple. I'm like, yo, I'm about to do some
Yeah.
damage. And that's the best I had ever felt, man. Ever. Bob, that's the best I had ever felt
Ah,
as a lifter. And I remember when nobody was saying anything, man. And the last one of my sponsors, man, they reached out to, they didn't say anything. I'm like, yo, I remember I did one rep, and I remember I felt the tears just like welling up in my eyes. And in my head, I'm like, these are my last spots I'm ever going as a lifter. I'm hanging it up. I don't want
damn.
to have anything. I go to my second rep. I remember I squatted down and I couldn't see the floor. I couldn't see anything because I was just, and I
Damn.
remember like I stood up, I got my breath, did one of those, and I just remember like I blew and like I just remember like water going everywhere. And I remember myself, don't lose focus. And one of my lifters behind me, because again, we were at my house. I turned my garage door. I descent for that third rep, dude. I just crumbled. I was sobbing. Part of it because I thought I was done lifting. Part of it because like I'm this game's not for me anymore. And
That's
partly
deep.
because I'm like this is it for me. I have to hang it up. And
Mm,
bro, that was the first and only time I ever like I gotta hang it up. And
yeah.
when I remember he picked me up, we racked the weight, dude, and I just turned around, bro, and I just cried on boy. I cried on.
Damn.
For me, that was the only time in all of my career that I'm like, I'm hanging it up. That I gotta leave. But that was my clear sign that it's time for me to leave. Crazy enough,
That's
then
deep.
the next day, bro, everybody started posting about it. I'm like, okay, cool. So then maybe, maybe my prayers are answered. Maybe like people still care. But I was hypersensitive at that around that point in time anyway. But like I've had moments where I thought like, you know what? I mean, I might need to hang it up because my body doesn't feel the same. I'm not healing as fast as I'm not recovering as fast. Um,
Yeah.
but then like what ends up happening is you'll get a Bob that comes in these cassettes. I ain't gonna lie, dude. Like it's obviously this is your podcast. You're the subject. So like we haven't really talked about Ashton, but like bro, like I watched that kid, grow up. You know what I mean? And I remember
Mm,
the same thing David Rick said to me is like you're gonna be a champion one day. You can respect you. I've said those exact words to Ashton. And I've watched him mature. I watched him a great in this game,
hmm.
and to watch him like get to the level he's at. And here's the crazy thing, and again, it's no knock on competition. I will take smoke from anybody, dude. I want to go against the best of the best of the best. I want to, because I don't. I mean, when it's all said and done, I don't want them to be like, yo, you know what? Ellis was good for his era. He was good for those, what I'm saying, hey,
Yeah.
all up to 2017, 2018, he was the guy. But after that, it was kind of whatever, because I started the game
Mm-hmm.
late. I started at 33. You know what I mean? So like I ain't,
Yeah.
I never got a chance to, you know what I mean? Like when, when I was y'all's age, I was like, all right, Clay, you're back on kickoff return. Get ready. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Ah,
trying to stay in the pros. You know what I mean? I was
yeah.
still chasing them NFL dreams. So I never got to, like, my young man body never got a chance to get powerlifting. Like, it's just, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone has their, you know what I mean? But for me, that was
Mm-hmm.
my big thing, as far as, what, man, I'm gonna have to go with these boys, in my late 30s, early 40s. I'm gonna have to go with these, like David Ricks. David Ricks got at me when he was in his 50s. It shut me
That's
down.
crazy.
So, but when y'all come in, it's like, oh, I thought it was dumb, but I got some new life, because there's stuff that you're doing that I didn't think was possible. I'm like, yo, now that I know it's possible, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give you your flowers right now. I'm gonna give you your
Damn.
flowers right now. And I ain't even, I have never in my life started taking creatine until you started talking about it.
Damn. Shit.
That's real.
Damn.
That's real. I will give you your flowers to your face. And I was waiting to tell you to your face till I actually saw you at Nats to tell you that. But like,
Wow.
I never touched it. I never touched anything. I would take protein and that was it. That was it. That was my subs. I would
Damn.
take protein and I would take my glucosamine to make sure my joints are straight, and that was it.
No,
I
that's
didn't
crazy.
touch creatine. I've never touched it until I'm like, oh, hold on. I already knew about the dips. I've been doing dips, baby. I got that. I got the dips. I've been doing that. But I had never touched creatine like that. Yo, and then
Oh
when I
yeah,
started,
that's
I'm like,
crazy.
yo, hold up. Ooh, let's get one more. Let's
Yep.
get one more session. Whoa, let's get one more rep. Like, I ain't even know, dude. I ain't even know. Um,
Yeah.
I started really going in on creatine like early 2023. I mean, and throughout the year,
For
like, cause
me,
I was hurting.
I'll never forget the date. It was August 13th, 2022. I'll never forget it. It's changing me crazy. I'll never
Uh,
forget it.
that's
Yeah,
I
creatine.
just so yeah, I that's the thing, is like, you're never going to know when it's time to hang it up. You're not gonna know. You're just gonna know. Cause I mean,
Yeah,
cause the thing is,
that was
like,
deep.
I'm gonna be 100 with you, because even when my hard part, this is the hard part for me, you know what I mean? And I get emotional. I won't, on air, I won't, but I get emotional, man, when I think about when is it going to be time for me to hang it up, because remember, there's stages
Ooh,
in this. Like
yeah.
I told you, like,
Damn.
do I want to go out kicking and screaming? I mean, are my numbers speaking to it? And here's the thing, man. Like, I need to have a little more Bob in me, and really, like, let the people know, like, what's going on behind the scenes when I'm training and all that stuff, dude. Because I give people the fritz. I never show them, like, yo, this, you gonna get the second, the third set. You don't, unless you know me, like, oh, I already know what you're. Like, just, and that's just that old school way. That's how we all of us. Y'all new cast, bro. Y'all put up that heat. And like, bro, even if I could do that, I can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I just, it's crazy, but y'all are so just open. This is what I'm doing. This is how much it sucked. This is how the technique was. I'm gonna do better next time. And you turn around the next week, do more, and you do better next time. I'm like, man, I gotta
Yeah.
be that way. I that's a part of y'all's page that I'm trying to take from. You know what I mean? And that's why we want to. I'm at DM. Hey, bro. So I'm doing this right now. Should I post this or not? Like, I'm one of those types. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it wasn't the prettiest. Should I post this? Because, I mean, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, the hardest part for me, this is straight up. I'm so, it's a part of my squat vanity. But, like, we'll go to Worlds. This last Worlds, man, I had told that's the prettiest squat I've ever seen. I just don't want somebody like, yo, that squat's ugly. For some
Nah, I
reason,
feel
man,
you.
like, because I remember you said I was a bencher, dog. That's all I could do. At one point, I benched more than I squatted. So
Damn.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, like, I remember those days that, though, I couldn't pay a judge for depth. I couldn't do it. I just didn't have the discipline. I never want to go back to those days, bro. Where I always want my squat to be pretty. I always want, like, even my heaviest stuff, like, if RP 9.5, 9.999, I still wanted to look like an 8. Um, I'm just, but, like, I just, again, a page out of your book, I'm like, yo, this dude, I mean, it looked okay to me, but he says ugly. Like, yo, I gotta be able to. I gotta be better.
Nah.
I gotta be better about that. I want to be better about that. But, like, I think, for me, that's a hard part. It's like those. I'm my worst critic. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, it's like,
Mm,
when is going to be the time? Like, when do I stop as an open lifter and
no,
just
I
do
feel you with
masters
that.
only? So then, that's what I'm thinking. So you gotta get to that point. Here's the thing, dog. If you're at this level right now, so far ahead of everyone, if you decide you're gonna keep doing this, like, you have a family, you start doing all that, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna hit a point where, like, all right, cool. I've literally gutted and now I'm 40.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 40 years old. I still feel good. Just still going. Clienteles through the. I still want to lift. Do I still keep doing open? I've done
No,
everything I
that's a fact.
needed.
Mm-hmm.
My name's in the record books forever. I mean, the numbers. It doesn't matter about the numbers. I mean, I got the championships with my name behind it.
Yeah.
So, do I move out of the way, let someone else get their shot, go do this Masters thing, and enjoy it? Because here's the thing, dog. You're gonna enjoy it, but I can tell you right now. Let me tell you right now. Look me in
Hmm.
my eyes and let me tell you. Lifting open is
Yeah. I don't
there's
think I could do
so
masters. I ain't
much
gonna lie.
there's so much there's a lot of ego, there's a lot of testosterone, there's so
Yeah.
much, machismo flying around lifting. When I look back on it, I spent time making sure that I had that Mamba mentality, that I was like unfuckwittable as much as I could be, that I forgot to enjoy it. Because you
Mm.
know what it takes to get to the top. But
Yeah.
then people don't understand is what you do to stay on top. It's hard, dude. Especially on an individual sport like this, where you got a new young
Yeah.
gun coming every year, bro.
You gotta
It's
be on
different.
top of
People
everything.
they don't yeah, it's now this Masters, while I do still push a little harder, I take more time off, make sure my family's good, make sure the little one's good and all that stuff. But when I go to these meetings, everybody's hugging, having a good time. We're encouraging each other in the back, shaking hands, snapping everybody up, having a great time. We go and enjoy ourselves, eat, have what I'm saying, and just I literally have enjoyed myself so much more as a Masters these meets than I ever did as a. But that feeling of being in that open, being like, ooh,
Mm.
any miss? If you miss, I got you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
different. It's different. Like, I mean, there's some here's the thing, there's a lot of strong guys about to age in 3 years. So this is about to get like right now, I mean, that open game, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I watch y'all, I'm like, ooh, I gotta get back. But that's the thing,
Hmm.
like you're never gonna, and that might be it. It might be one of those times. I mean, like we said, like they might have to just tear it from my cold dead hands, or just like, hey man, that dude flamed
Yeah.
out. That's the hard part. Like when you leave, because here's the thing: we
Yeah.
always swear the game needs us, or is it us that needs the game? I don't know.
Oh, bar. Bar. That was
I'm
a
just
bar.
saying, like that's hard. Like I mean, you have so much time. Oh my gosh, you have so much time.
Yeah. Gotta
You know,
appreciate it. Gotta appreciate it
yeah, you
every
have
year.
a ton
Because
of
it
time.
flies.
Yeah, it
It
does. It
definitely
definitely
flies.
flies. I mean, and look back and you be like 34, 35, like, "Oh, I got 10 championships now. What else? What's next?" You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing, like, I mean, you have time to think about it, but I mean, but I can tell you, I can remember 11 years ago when I started. I can remember and
Mm.
I cannot believe I've gone over a decade of doing.
It's
I
insane to
I
say.
can't, you know what I mean? Like most people my age that's done this more than most people my age that are still pilot, they've been doing it for 20, 30 years. So I'm just like, yo,
Damn.
this is your 11th. That's it. You're a baby. Word.
This is my, I think this is my fourth.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Fourth.
It's flown by, right? So
Yeah, it
then
did.
again, you have time to think about it, but that's one of the things, man, that I was like, when it's all said and done and you look back, like, you know what? When was my moment? Like, hey man, all right, it's time for me to go. I don't know.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
No,
you
yeah, that's
know,
facts.
here's the
I would
thing, dog.
say, I was gonna say, just luckily, I'm not. I love powerlifting, but I'm not emotionally attached to powerlifting. I would say.
I would say I'm not mostly attached to powerlifting, but I'm very much so attached to the powerlifting.
Okay.
I'm very much like there's some people in this game that I absolutely at this point in my life, powerlifting has definitely impacted my life for the better. You know what I mean? So I can't knock that. And I mean I used to be like, oh,
I
I
knew
can
it.
live without powerlifting, and I very well could. I mean, 3 degrees in this, bro. I could live without powerlifting, but I don't know that I could live without the people and the connections, the families that I've made in
Mm,
powerlifting. That's hard, dude.
I
Because
love that.
I made some lifelong family.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
That is
And
awesome.
but and again, I think when it's all said and done, I don't know that I'm ever going to be done with it per se, but I think I'll be able to walk away knowing that I can and influence the game in a way by making sure that I keep all my people, yourself, that Ashton, you know what I mean, that y'all are still good, that y'all are taken care of, that
Mm,
y'all's needs are being met. Because at the end of the day, dude, I think the biggest way that you step away from the game is making sure that the future is secured in good hands with the next coming up.
yes. Yes, that's very
And
true.
and until I feel that way, because I ain't gonna lie, dude, until I met you and a couple other cats, I really don't, man, dude, what are we doing? Because it was just the way where it was headed was where the lifting is headed is low key kind of whack. It was kind of becoming a sideshow. It's becoming a sideshow,
Mm,
and there's a few like yourself that are real, brother. You got to throw. I'm telling you, man, you're definitely ahead of your time. your mentality, the way you lift and what you bring to the game, it's definitely it's a you got an old school approach to a lot of the stuff that you do. Because I guarantee you, man, there's some old heads. If you met them, they'd be like, oh, I'm right at home with like there's the cats
Yeah,
that got me
I see that.
started in the game. Though I mean, God rest a lot of their souls, man. They would love you because you got a spirit about you, man, that really just makes it one joyful to watch, but two, like, I mean, even if, bro, this will be the hard part for me. I already know. I mean, because I'm not gonna lie, dude. At some point, it's it's written on my mirror in my bathroom, like, man, I want to compete against you and Ashton again before I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, I
Okay.
gotta, I want to get at everybody that I think's legit. I mean, I've literally got to compete to get every living legend since what 2012, 2013. And when they did the USAPL split, damn, I thought I was gonna get a chance to go at you one time. I thought I was gonna get a chance to go at Ashley
Word.
one
I was
time.
thinking the same. I was thinking the same.
Yeah, I really,
I,
really was hoping. And then after that, I was like, well, whatever. And then like, hold on, you going, I, bro? I'm going back down, but I can't do 120. So I mean, I don't
yeah,
know. I'm at the, you know what? I'm just gonna have to host a meet. I'm just gonna do it on dots or something like, or do it on like IPF points. But hey, I'm just gonna invite y'all. Like, hey, let's just a charity meet or something. I don't know. I
that'd be
host so many
fire.
meets now, but yeah, man, like that's before it's all said and done. I want to get on the platform one more time with y'all and with Mikey, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Mm,
y'all three are my absolute
damn, I
I
appreciate to
mean,
be part of that list.
dog, I will not lie to you, man. I mean, and it's weird because I talk about Mikey quite a bit, but Mikey is one of my absolute favorite lifters. I've always liked watching Mike, always. And Ashton, I
Yeah.
mean, Ashton just feels like the little bro since since day one. I was like, I just love that kid, dude, and I don't know why. I've always loved Ashton. And you came on the scene, I'm like, yo, this dude, I like your approach. I just like what you so I mean, I'm glad you're young, dude, because like I mean, the game needs you. I'm telling you, man, the game needs all three of y'all. Real talk. So
Yeah.
just so hopefully, hopefully I'm around when you decide, like, what, I'm gonna hang it up. It's been real. Thank you guys for everything. I get a 25
Oh,
championships at this
me?
point.
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah,
It's gonna
man.
be a
So
while for me.
and as it should be, man. You know what I mean? You gotta enjoy it, man. Like get the throne, sit on it for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get a couple butt imprints and just chill. Cause I'm telling you, man,
Mhm.
it's lovely to be the man. And then, again, that goes back to Jordan. There's a reason why he came back. Cause being a man, dude, that's crack rock, bro. Like I gotta
Yeah.
have it. Let me do it one more time. All right, so we're popping these questions, so I'll get you out of here, man. So I feel like you had a little time to think about it. Maybe I don't know. First question.
Mm.
She's singing. What are three things if you're stuck on a deserted island? What are three things that you would have to have with you?
Three things I gotta have. Could be anything.
Anything.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna have to have a katana, a katana sword. Katana sword. I need the sharpest in existence. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm gonna need what else? Shit, a water purifier if I can have that.
All right, that's
Something to
fair. That's
purify my
fair.
water, and a blowtorch.
Blowtorch.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just need fire. Easy access to fire.
My man said katana,
Absolutely.
water purifier, and blowtorch. I
I
mean,
think that's a
hey,
fire setup.
no, it's actually a pretty legit setup. That's
I think
yeah. I mean,
I
it's
think
desert
yeah, I think
island.
it's legit.
I mean, yeah.
You got the katana. You could if you ever see a bear or something, you could hunt that. Hey, that shit sharp as hell. Yeah. I don't care if it's a bear. You take that nice swing at the bear with a katana,
It's a
it might
wrap.
be
It's a
over for
wrap.
the bear. It might be over, and
You
you got meat for a week or three.
oh, at least. I mean, you got the blowtorch, so you can make your fire. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
oh yeah, and yeah, I mean you got your needs met. I mean, you use katana to chop down whatever you to build shelter. That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
here we go. Here we go. Now we are talking about who is on your
Ooh.
Rushmore. Who is on your Mount Rushmore and why? And again, it can be lifting related. It can be just life related. It's all you. You're for whoever you got. I'm
Okay.
just gonna
Okay.
give you the
Okay.
floor, and you take us through your process if you want to. Tell us who and why, and it's on you.
I won't give a powerlifting one. I was gonna give two. I was thinking about two,
All
but
right,
I'm
that's
not
a
gonna give
bet.
a powerlifting one
No,
because
okay,
it's
I'm with that.
too like you can change that shit up easily, and
Easy.
it's powerlifting is too new, my opinion. But I would say if I were to, Ray Williams would 100% be on it.
Okay.
But I can't think of Taylor at yeah, but I can't think of any others because the game is evolving as we speak.
Yeah,
But
true.
as far as life, Kobe Bryant, absolutely,
Ooh,
because He is the definition of that mentality. He's
R.I.P.
the
R.I.P.
most,
Mamba.
yeah, rest in peace to him. He's the most doggiest mentality you will ever find in any sport.
That is
Um, my number two, my Mount Rushmore of just people, it's got to be Muhammad Ali because of what just everything he went through. And he's one of the GOATs, greatest athletes of all time.
wow. I
I
have
gotta
not heard
put
Muhammad Ali before.
really,
Wow. I haven't
really,
heard that one. I've not heard that one before. Not on this podcast.
that's crazy.
6 seasons and
Um,
I've never heard Muhammad Ali. Wow.
damn. Now he
Yep.
has that is not that he has to be, but he was just a dog, man. I kind of don't want to put two basketball players on there, but I gotta put Jordan. He
Come
was
on
just
now.
obsessed with winning,
Absolutely.
obsessed with winning. That
Absolutely.
and then I will say LeBron. I don't want to put three basketball players on that shit,
You can do whatever you want.
but
It's yours.
I'll put LeBron in there just because he's one of the best athletes to like just the community. Period. He does the most. Period. He
Exactly.
donated like what a couple million in scholarships
Yeah.
to
He has
his
his own
freaking
school.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does too much. He does way too much.
Ooh, okay, then I'm gonna take that. Okay, so we got Muhammad, we got Kobe, we got LeBron, and we got Jordan. Okay.
Mm,
Oh, I'm gonna hit you with this one because it just as a power lifter, who would you say you mostly what athlete outside of powerlifting do you feel your game, your mentality, what you bring to this powerlifting game is most
damn, that
that was
is
fire.
very hard.
That was
That was right.
fire.
I do take a lot from every last one of them. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna lie. I would love to say Kobe because of my mentality, but I'm gonna be honest. I am obsessed. I'm upset. I'm more so like a Jordan because I'm actually obsessed with winning more than anything, and it's so bad. It's very toxic. It's actually part of my one of my toxic traits. I'm obsessed with winning. I don't know why. So if I were to rank it, I would say Jordan as the number one, and then Kobe as the number two for the mentality, because I just like being a dog in everything I do. But as far as winning, if I'm be honest, it's so toxic that I want to care about powerlifting outside of just winning. I want to care about the sport more than just winning.
Well,
I'm
you know
just
what,
obsessed
man?
with.
I can tell you from somebody that was very, very, and it's not that I'm not obsessed with, it, but I was very, very,
Mm,
just winning.
yeah.
Even today, I mean, even like when I wake up in the W
Hmm.
somewhere, what helped me with powerlifting is of not being so obsessed with and actually
Yeah.
taking after being a champion back to back, taking an L and actually having more fun in the L than I did when I got the. That's what like, and I worked way harder. I worked way harder even when I got my dubs. I mean, when I got my L than it was when I got my because that weight was off of my shoulders. It gave me an opportunity. Oh my God, I enjoyed it so much more, and my training got so much better. And to be 100 with you, my
Mm,
mentality got that much more after I took that L. But I enjoyed the process. I think I enjoyed the
yeah.
process more. Baba, stop. Hey, stop. Um, but yeah, that was how I can only speak from my own personal experience. That's how I got better at not being so many. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with I'd much rather you be obsessed with being a winner than but a way to kind of counter being solely could be taking the time
Yeah.
to enjoy your process a little bit. Because here's the thing. If you're working
Yeah.
hard and you're the hardest worker in the room, those dubs are gonna come regardless. But if you don't
Yeah.
enjoy yourself, you're gonna look back and have a string of W and have no memories of nothing but just
That's facts. That's
you don't
facts.
like bro,
I
like
felt that.
who wants to just remember, oh yeah, that one time I was on a platform winning, I won, yeah, and I won. Okay, that's cool. But hey, did you remember anything else? Nah, I just you know what I'm
That's
saying?
facts. That's facts.
Look
I
back
felt
on your
that.
career. Look back on your career right now. And we talking,
Mm,
hey, you just reset the light. I don't know how she's there. She reset the light. Look at when we were talking earlier about you taking that L at Nash.
yeah.
You didn't talk about anything else but just you took an L versus there was nothing else that we spoke on really, but just like, you know what, when I took that L at Nationals, I'm like, hold on though. What else did you learn from that L? What else did you get out of that L? What else? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
because of that L, look how your training changed. Look how your
Yeah. That's
technique
true.
changed. Look how your
That is
mentality, you had
true.
to adjust mentality.
Hmm.
Man, you had a whole string of time between that L way back then and present day
Yeah. Now
that you've had a full journey. You know what
that's
I'm
true.
saying?
A
Enjoy the
changed
moment,
person.
man. You gotta enjoy all this because one day, dog, you're gonna look back. You're gonna be 30s, 40s, 50s, look back and like, hey man, I got hella trophies, but I don't have a memory of any of those me. And I
No,
never
that's
wanted
true.
that to be me. Like I can tell you right now, You come to my house, you go to my den, it's nothing but trophies, nothing but medals of wins, 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 wins. And this is no joke. I have a plaque of just I think in all my I think I only have like maybe 6 or 7 medals that aren't from that's it. And all of those are on their own place. And I can tell you a story about each one.
That's fire.
At the same time, I can tell you a story about every one of those wins too, because I enjoy the people. And this is the thing.
Oh, I can't even hear you. Can't hear you.
Can you?
Got you. Got
Okay.
you.
Yeah. I think when, of all those wins and stuff, man, I can really tell you a story about all of them, man. But I can tell you I think this is why I'm hoping we actually get a chance to compete. If you're ever in the back with me, dog, very, very seldom. I mean, every now and again, I'm kind of off to myself, but most of the time, I'm watching South Park, Family Guy, laughing, cracking jokes. I walk to each competitor like, "Oh, you good, baby? You ready to go? Let's get it. Let's get it." Yeah, I got my speaker in the back. Ask anybody that's ever competed with me. I got my speaker in the back, like, what y'all want to hear? Cool, let's play that. Because at that point, it's over with. But I never want that time to come when I'm in the back, or if I were, because I've been that guy in the back, I feel all alone by myself. I feel like I have no support. I feel like, even though everyone's out to beat you, they're not really out to beat you. They're just out to be the best version of themselves, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I want everybody back there to be relaxed, to have a good time, to be ready to go out there and have the best time of their lives, to have an awesome experience at whatever competition it's at, because I want your best version to show up. If you're not the type of person, if you're a rah-rah type that likes to be by themselves, and you know what I mean, usually those people get up, they walk out of the room, you know what I'm saying, and they isolate themselves. Most people aren't really like that, you know what I'm saying? Most people like most people just kind of, because when you're at the gym, you're with the gym with a few people here and there, like you're chopping it up, you know what I mean? It's like it's a training session. Most people perform the best when they're the most relaxed, when they're most at home, when they're the most like low stress level. They go out there, they do their thing.
Yeah.
I want every one of my competitors feel like, yo, we're just back at the gym. We're just kicking it. What you want to listen to? All right, yeah, we got that. You're on Ox, cool. I bring a big ass speaker. We vibe, dog. We vibe the whole time in the back. You get ready to go lift. Are you about to go? All right, good luck, my guy. Good luck, my guy. You come back. I'm like, oh, what you do? All right, I got that. Nah, nigga, I don't got that, bro. You got me on this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just I'm having the time of my life. So when it's over with, I know that your best person showed up. My best version showed up. If your best version was better than mine that day, you're going to get the dub. If mine was better than yours, you're going to get the dub. But at the end of the day, we had a great competition, and we could talk about it later because we had a great time. You know what I mean? And then you're ready to go back for the next one. Because here's the thing, dude, like, especially when you're at the level, like, you're above me. I ain't going to front. When you're at the level that I guess, I'm still up there, but I'm not up there where you're at. But when you're in that 1% of the 1%, you pretty much lift against the same people all the time.
Yeah.
So are you going to hate on that same person every time? You know how much energy it takes to be angry at a person for no reason, aside from them being able to defy gravity better than you can? That makes no sense to me.
That's factual.
How am I beefing with a man behind him moving an inanimate object? That makes no sense to me. If I'm going to go, I want to make sure you have a good time. I have a good time. We can go back, because here's the thing. We're in a fraternity of elite lifters that can barely be cracked. Like, you got to be a dog to make it into that top level.
Yeah.
You got to be a dog to have your name mentioned in the top 5 to 10 people in the world, bro. In the world?
That's tough. It's tough.
It's rarefied air. So if we're going to be there, people have to understand, if you beat me, you're representing me when you go wherever you go. If I beat you, I'm representing you. So you know what? If I bring out the best in you and you beat me, or you bring out the best in me and I beat you, then you know what? That number that I put up is going to be stupid ridiculous. So when I do go to Worlds, I'm like, we ain't even got a shot against these Americans. Because it was a time, Bob, there was a time, and you've been around lifting enough to know, there was a time, bro, like, if you won at nationals, you pretty much were shooing to win at Worlds. When you came from the US, like, the US, bro, they gonna win because their totals are higher than everybody.
Yeah.
But I can honestly tell you from the bottom of my heart, when we were lifting in the back, we weren't hating on each other at all. There was there was friendly competition, but we weren't like wishing ill on each other. And somehow, somewhere, that just kind of lost. It got lost somewhere. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's a direct correlation to why, I don't feel like the rest of the world's catching up. I just feel like we're finally at a point where, like, we're about to start sending our best to the best again. And it's about to be it's about to be bonkers. And when we send
Mhm.
our best to the best and it gets bonkers, listen, we got to have all hands on deck. You know what I mean? There ain't no hating. I ain't gonna hate on the next man if I know, like, listen, bro, you go there, you go wherever it is in the corner world, you rep for us because I'm gonna be waiting for you. Because you know what, because you're probably going to go to Worlds. You're gonna have to swing back. You're gonna have to do Sheffield because you try to get the bag, and you got to get ready for Nats again. So I'm gonna have an unfair advantage over you when you come back. I'm gonna be ready for you when you come back. You know what I'm saying? Like my job is to make sure
Mhm.
you don't repeat. But my job is also to make sure that I show you love on the way over there. You know what I mean? Like
I mess with that.
yeah, you know what I mean? So like that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do on this end. I want to bring it back to that way of like, you know what I mean? So I definitely I love that idea of you having that obsession with winning like a Jordan. That you have that mentality of like it's gonna take more than damn near death
Yeah.
itself to break me like the Mamba. But
Combination.
I also want you to be able to enjoy this ride because you know what? While Jordan and Kobe had amazing careers, they won and they won and they won. You can't sit here and tell me that they had more fun than LeBron's having right now. There's no way.
Yeah, I know. I
There's
know.
no way.
Speaking facts.
You know what I'm saying? There's no
Mhm.
way. You know what I mean? So you mean I've tried to pattern my my lifting a lot after LeBron in terms of like a lot of the giving back, a lot of the mentoring, longevity. You know what I mean? Taking my time.
Yeah.
Because when it's all said and done, I think I ask you a lot of the questions that I ask myself quite a bit, like what do I want to leave this game with? Um, and I mean, when you said like want to be mentioned as one of the greats, bro, that spoke to my soul. That spoke to my soul.
100%.
Um, I mean, I don't want to be mentioned as strongest. I don't even care if they mention my nose, but I want to be known as one of the greatest competitors that stepped on the platform. Like, yo, that dude right there,
Yeah.
he would take anybody at any given time. Like you talking about cutting down, like bro, I've done it. I've cut down from 105 down to 83. I've done it. Like, yo, I mean that because that was the only way I could beat Ray Williams. I'm like, yo, I got cut down from basically 230, 227 I was at the time. I had to cut down from
Damn.
227. So I guess that was like what 10
It's like
102?
103,
Yeah, like
103-ish.
103. I cut down to 80, 82 and a half. I
Damn.
did that in one night for the Arnold.
Damn.
And bro,
That
I
is
ain't gonna lie.
crazy.
The same man I was trying to beat because I was trying to get that check, but Wade was literally holding me up at one point. I was like, man, I was bad. So like I couldn't Bill Helmick wouldn't let me leave the weighing room without drinking Gatorade. And so I drank a couple of Gatorades and I got back on the scale and they got me up to 84 and 84.7. But I cut down, bro.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
so
insane.
but I mean, it's one of those things where you ain't ever gonna tell me that I don't want to smoke with anybody. Cause I'm like, you know what,
That's
dude? I know
facts.
the only way I can beat Ray Williams, because like, man, at the time, Ray Williams was that dude. He was the GOAT. He still is, he's my GOAT. But Ray Williams was the hottest thing smoking. Like the only way you had a chance of beating Ray Williams, but not only did you have to lift crazy heavy, but you had to be at least four weight classes lower than him. Like, you know how crazy his Wilks has to be for you have to be four weight classes below him, but you still have to go crazy. So I'm like,
Yeah.
the only way I'm gonna be able to do it is I gotta cut down to like 83. I got it. And so that was I sat oh my God, I sat in that sauna and I sat in hot bath over and over and over and over and over. And I told my girls, I want you to call me every other hour and say, don't be a bitch. And hang up. I'm like, okay,
Ah,
bro. It was Bob, I'm telling you, like room is spinning.
damn.
So how's the
That's
room start
tough.
spinning? I turn the lights off. If I don't see the room spinning, I don't know the light. I don't know if it's spinning.
Oh,
So
damn.
I sat
That
there
is
dizzy,
crazy.
throwing up, whatever. I just stay there, man. And I crawled out the tub, laid on the ground, set my alarm, got
Damn.
up at 6 a.m. I had dried out. I'm like, oh, I'm 82. It's over. Let's go.
That's
I rented a
crazy.
car, couldn't drive it because I couldn't see straight. Got the Uber
Hmm.
to come pick me up. Crawl my way into
Damn.
the Arnold. Yeah, man. So I mean, when you say you're willing to cut down, to go and do whatever, I believe you, dog, because I was there. I'm telling you, I know that feeling. Everything you say, man, I hear myself saying, like, yo, this dude right here, you're built different. You know what I mean? And
Gotta be.
I hope and pray, dog, with all my heart that you reap every bit of the success that you're working towards getting, man. You know what I mean? Like
Appreciate that.
I really hope you succeed as much time and effort and love that you're putting into this, man. But don't forget to keep putting those chips into the game, man. I mean, because there's somebody that's watching you, like you were watching somebody else that's going to be watching you that's got you, you know what I mean, that's got you at the number one lifter. Like, hey, this is my GOAT. And I hope one day I can be as strong as Bob. I hope one day I can compete on the same stage as Bob. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna buy a ticket. You know, if Bob goes to Worlds, I'm buying a ticket. Okay, how much it costs? I'm gonna buy a ticket to watch him win his championship. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like there's somebody out there that's watching you, bro. Like, so I mean, and that not that you don't already do it, man, but you like use these opportunities that you have. And this is, you know, this is for me to use stuff like use these opportunities, man, to, you know what I mean, to not only, you know, keep strengthening your community and building a community, but also, man, to build this powerlifting community, because it's going to be the way it is. It's going to be this way it is until, you know, people with your type of influence, people with your type of strength, people with your type of, you know, mental fortitude, you know, like speak up and really just keep giving back to the game. Because the game's going to remain the same until somebody decides to change it. You know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, you're the you know, you and Ashton, like you're the guys that have the catalyst to change it. You know what I mean? So I mean, while you have the eyes on you, while you have the ability, I mean, you're blessed with this ability, bro. Like, and cool thing about strength, it's here for a long time, and then one day it's just gone. You know what I mean? So like, you know, enjoy it, bro. Enjoy it. And my last question, and I'll let you go. Gun to your head, stuck in an alley. The only way you get out of this alley, you have to give me 15 seconds of a song. What song would you have?
It'd be, I remember when I was in middle school, you know, you try to memorize the lyrics to be cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely a Drake song. It's either Miss Me or Over. You know either?
I know both. I know both. I'm a Drake head, big time.
That's
love
funny.
Drake. Love Drake.
2012 Drake was crazy.
Yeah, like he had, I mean, that was prime Drake.
2012, yeah. 2012, 2011,
2010 through 2013 Drake was like,
yeah.
You know, because that was right when Lil Wayne was like, all right, here, you got the torch.
Yeah.
that was right after mixtape Weezy was like, all right, I'm done. Drake, you got it.
Yeah, yo, you gotta be really singing them Drake songs right now.
Yo, it's all you. Listen, all you gotta do is 15 seconds. I'm gonna put it up right here.
Let me see.
You let me know when you're ready, and I'll start it.
I'm gonna go Over. Since it's not even that much singing. Yeah. All right.
And
I know way too many people here right now that I didn't know last year. Who the fuck are y'all? I swear it feels like the last few nights. We've been everywhere and back, but I just can't remember it all. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm doing me. All right, I'm sorry. I can keep going, but damn.
He put in 25 seconds. Man, listen, damn. I ain't gonna lie, man. I appreciate you. I apologize. We had a little hang up earlier. But I mean, we were able to get this thing going, man. I know I told you I was gonna take a little bit of your time. I took up a bunch of it. I honestly, man, I just appreciate you just, you know, sitting down and you know, just giving me the answers and, you know, giving me the keys. And just,
absolutely.
You know, honestly, there's no secret why you have a community that you have. There's no secret why you have the following that you have. There's no secret why you have the success that you have. You work, you know what I mean? And you're not afraid of work and you're not afraid of success. I think, like I said, I think it's just a matter of time before people start, you know, mentioning your name like, ooh, bro, you know who's cold? Ray was crazy. I remember Ray back in 2019, 2020. Oh, that was crazy. Yo, Bobb 2024. Hey, 24 Bobb was different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Yep. It's gonna be crazy.
I mean? Like, hey, remember that? Whoa, remember that battle between Tony and that 2024 IBF Worlds was ridiculous. That one was crazy. Like that's what I'm looking for. That was what I'm looking forward to. You know what I mean? Like, go to nationals, do your thing.
Yes, sir.
Do your
thing. Gonna be crazy.
I want you to do your thing, man. I want you, but I want you to. I'm gonna be there. I mean, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I want you to enjoy yourself, bro. I really do. Take that opportunity to introduce. This is, and this is the thing that I think is going to be so beautiful, because you had a chance to introduce yourself to the national stage once, but it never really came to fruition.
Yeah.
But now you're pulling the Jay-Z Fade to Black. You're reintroducing yourself.
Yep.
For the real. This is for the real. This ain't no junior. This is like,
Yeah,
this is the real,
exactly.
real.
Exactly.
So I mean, I
So
want you to enjoy that whole moment, dog. Cause I ain't gonna lie, dude. I always get emotional when I see like people like, yo, this is his moment. Cause I remember what that moment feels like. And I want you to be able to enjoy that moment and be able to look back on that moment. You know, when you know, when you're old and gray like myself, you're talking to a up and come like, dog, I remember that. I remember like I know you're obsessed with winning, and that part of you is never going to change, and it should never change.
right.
I know your mentality is concrete. That's never going to change. I'm not asking you to change. I'm asking you to add an addition to your mentality, and that's to find a way to enjoy your moment.
I like
Enjoy
that.
your moment. Enjoy your moment just a little bit more. That mentality is never, it's not going to go anywhere. But man,
Yeah.
while you're so busy looking at everything in black and white, there's so much color going on around you. Absorb that, man. Absorb that. So then when you go back, you know what I mean, and you're giving those life lessons to the bro, when you're giving those life lessons to your community, and like, you know what, guys, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, damn, man, you know, you got a good brush, man. Paint that picture.
Hey,
You know what I mean? Start
absolutely.
seeing.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
man. But I appreciate you taking the time. I really, really do. I really do from the
Definitely.
bottom of my heart. I really appreciate you taking the time, man, to chop it up with me, man. I know you got
Definitely. I
stuff
owed
going
you.
on. Like,
I owed you for sure.
yeah, man. I appreciate you. Enjoy your night, dog. I'm about to run up here and make sure the Nationals is gonna be good for y'all in in a few months.
Gonna
And
be a
yeah, man.
movie.
Hey, for anybody that doesn't know, it's dumb, but anybody that doesn't know, where can people find you at?
SSJBOB on everything. Everything.
SSJBOB on everything, and I'll make sure I try to throw up all the socials and the YouTube and everything. I try to throw that all up on the screen as well. So if you're watching this, those people that are going to be watching it on YouTube, we'll have it on there. And for those of you that are going to be listening to the podcast, guess what? You got to go to my YouTube to see all the other stuff. So there it is. So go to my YouTube, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the man, SSJBOB, Mr. Bob Matthews, the man, the myth, the living legend. I appreciate you, my G.
Hey, thank you for having me. Big time. You're a real one.
I appreciate you.